La hora, telling time in Spanish. To tell time in Spanish, we follow 4 simple steps. First, we determine the minutes. Next, the hour. Next, the correct way to say it is, as in it is 2 o'clock. And finally, we put the phrase together. Let's take a look at these 4 steps. The first step is determining the minutes. If the minute hand is on the right-hand side of the clock, in between 12 and 6, you use E, which means and. So if it was 2:05, you'd say it is 2 and 5 minutes. If the minute hand is on the left-hand side of the clock, between the 7 and the 11, you're going to use menos, which means minus. So you'd go to the next hour and then subtract the minutes. For example, if it were 2:55, you would say it is 3 minus 5 minutes. Here we see several examples of this. If the minute hand is at 5 minutes, you'd say y cinco, and 5 minutes. If it were at the half-hour point, you would say y media, and a half. If the minute hand were at the 50-minute mark, you would say menos 10. You would go to the next hour and subtract 10 minutes. Just like in English we say it's 10 to 3. In Spanish you'd say it is 3 minus 10. We can look at this a little bit with greater detail. And again we see y cinco, y 10, y 15, y 20, y 25, y media. And on the other side of the clock, menos 5, menos 10, menos 15, menos 20, menos 25. Let's look at some examples. Here we have the minute hand on the right-hand side of the clock. It's pointing to 20 minutes. Since it's on the right-hand side, we know we use y 20, and 20. In this next example, it's pointing to 50 minutes. Notice that it's on the left-hand side of the clock. We don't want to say and 50 minutes, but rather we want to go to the next hour and subtract minutes. So this one would be menos 10. Next, we look at the hour. Again, if that minute hand is on the right-hand side of the clock, we take the hour that it is and add the number of minutes. If the minute hand is on the left-hand side of the clock, we go to the next hour and subtract minutes, like it's 15 minutes till 3. Let's look at an example here. Here we have, it is 2:20. We see that the minute hand is on the right-hand side of the clock, so we're going to take the hour that it is and add the minutes. So, we see there that it is and 20 minutes. We know that the minute part is y 20. Now we see that it is 2:20, so we're going to take the hour that it is, which would be 2. 2:20. 2 and 20 minutes. Let's look at another. Here we have, it is 5:50, but notice that the minute hand is on the left-hand side of the clock. So we have to go to the next hour and subtract minutes. We are 10 minutes till 6. So we know the minute part is going to be menos 10. Since it is 5:50, we're going to the next hour, which is 6, and subtracting 10 minutes. So this is 6 menos 10. 6 minus 10. Finally, there are 2 ways to say it is. If the hour is 1 o'clock, una, you say es la una. If it is any time after 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., you use son las. This is number agreement. That's why we have 2 ways to say it here. Es la una, 1 hour, es la, it is. When there's multiple hours, 2, 3, 4 hours, then you have to use son las, the plural form. That's not how it works in English, which is why this might be a little bit confusing. But just know that if you're going to say una y media or una menos 10, you're going to say es la una. Anytime you have una, you put es la in front. 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, you're always going to use son las. Let's look at an example here. Here we have 1:45. Notice that the minute hand is on the left-hand side of the clock, so we're going to go to the next hour and subtract our minutes. We're 15 minutes until 2, so we know the minute part is menos 15. Now, it's 1:45. We're on the left-hand side of the clock, so we're going to go to the next hour and subtract 15. It's 15 till 2. So it's 2 menos 15, 15 till 2. Notice that it is 2. So when we have to choose between es la and son las, since that is 2, we have to choose son las. So to say that it is 1:45, the proper way is son las 2 menos 15. You can also use son las 2 menos cuarto to say it is a quarter till 2. You'll also find that version in your book. Let's look at another example. Here we have it is 1:20. Notice that the minute hand is on the right-hand side of the clock, so we're going to add the minutes. 20 minutes here. Y 20. Since we're on the right-hand side of the clock, we're going to use the hour that it is. 1:20. Now we want to say it is 1:20. That it is going to be es la, because we have una. Es la 1:20. It is 1:20 minutes. Finally, if you'd like, you can add the time of the day. De la mañana at the end means in the morning. De la tarde means in the afternoon. And de la noche means in the evening. We typically don't use de la noche until 7 p.m. or later. The tarde continues until about 7 p.m. Okay, here we have 7:50 a.m. First, we need to look at the minute hand. Notice that it is on the left-hand side of the clock. So we're going to subtract minutes here. We're 10 minutes until 8. So we have menos 10, 10 till 8. Next, we put in the hour. We're going to go to the next hour and subtract the minutes. So we have 8 menos 10. Since it's 8, we add son las for it is. It is 8 minus 10 minutes. Son las 8 menos 10. Finally, since it's in the morning, we can add de la mañana at the end. It is 8 minus 10 minutes in the morning. It's 10 till 8 in the morning. Son las 8 menos 10 de la mañana. Let's try another. Here we have 7:50 p.m. We're going to say the time the same way. Son las 8 menos 10. The only thing that we're going to change is the time of day. Son las 8 menos 10 de la noche. It is 10 minutes till 8 in the evening. If you want to say when something happens, not it is 7:50, but rather it is happening at 7:50. For example, here we have ¿A qué hora es la clase? When is the class? Instead of saying son las, which means it is 10 till 8, you can say a las 8 menos 10 de la mañana, at 10 till 8 in the morning.